Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda here of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here siding 1 vs 1 on Eindhoven country here between the South Spanky, back again here fighting for the Oberkommando West. Fighting here for the 2nd Panzer Division with Breakthrough, Elite Armored, and Luftwaffe Ground Forces versus the North Zoobee. Fighting for the Commonwealth, for the United Kingdom. Here for the 7th Armoured Division rolling through the German lines. And we got the Sturmpanies and a Kugelwagen here, so obviously hoping to sort of pressure his opponent a bit. Probably will go for that several Sturmpanier build here. Zoobee going for several infantry sections. Also noting he's got here Vanguard, Royal Artillery and Royal Engineer. Bulletins are here, a lot of Kugelwagens, one Jagdpanzer and Infantry Engineer and Vickers. First shots here, Sturmpanies versus infantry section, both sides basically rushing for the central victory point. Very interesting, sort of hoping to control the centre that way, sort of control the rest of the map. Of course, Zoobee, of course, does have a bit more infantry, thus can also afford to send units towards the western fuel point, thus gaining him a bit of an early fuel advantage versus Spanky. And again, that's basically the, how should we say, weakness of this kind of sort of early build. I mean, you get a lot of firepower, you can sort of concentrate very specifically and sort of control early areas, but at the same time, you will have to go a lot of otherwise map control elsewhere because you can't really grab territory otherwise, so you will be lower on resources overall as the game progresses, so it's at least for a certain extent until you sort of below a more decent force and sort of kill enough of the enemy. We've got another Sturmpanier squad there, we got 3 infantry sections now for Zoobee, though of course 1 pushed away, and we've got an area lost there for Spanky again, the Kugelwagen Sturmpanier combo, him rushing into the building here where there's only 2 that can respond back. Overall worked up pretty well there for Spanky. The Kugelwagen is on the hunt there for further Tommies to stop and shoot to bits and pieces. Look at that, Wilhelm. Tommies, shoot some. And then go quick following up with the universal carrier there for Zoobee. Probably sort of trying to deal with the Kugelwagen amongst other things, but also pressure the Sturmpanies a bit more. Grabbing a point there. Further territory of the infantry section heading westwards, southwards. And nothing further in the base. You can actually go. We actually right now can get a 3rd Sturmpanier squad if that is what Spanky wants. But again, no real move towards the resource points besides the munitions, and no move towards the fuel. 3rd Sturmpanier squad on the way. We got the universal carrier out here for Zoobee. Rolling out there. There also existed the larger Lloyd carrier, which was sort of meant more for towing anti-tank guns and the likes. Also another fun fact about the universal carrier, it's actually also used by the Soviets, which uses sort of a transport and reconnaissance vehicle, I believe. Infantry section there's a press, but the Kugelwagen Sturmpanier is then closing in to do some damage, and there we go, universal carrier on the other hand arriving as well. Kugelwagen force weight already low on health there, and meanwhile though, universal carrier has to deal with the Sturmpaniers first, otherwise could lose an infantry section. Then of course he wants to retreat it, which looks like here Zoobee is not very keen on that. Actually allows Spanky here to do some more damage. In fact, oh dear, looks like Zoobee here got too greedy. He really hoped to it. Forgot about that no other way. Spanky here got an early wipe versus Zoobee. That is going to hurt, and that could easily have been avoided had he just retreated. But it looks like Zoobee either was a bit too quick here to hunt down the Kugelwagen or something else. Either way, infantry section quite dead. Following up with the Reconnaissance, still trying to deal with the universal carrier. Not bad, not bad. Of course, not all that functional either. I mean, it's a larger map. And to a certain extent, he's going to have to sort of predict whether the universal carrier will go to hit, and then sort of hope he can catch and actually hit it. So it's not quite straightforward. But there we go. British going very aggressively into Spanky's territory, flanking. There we go, knocking out the Kugelwagen. Very aggressive play there by Zoobee, very nicely played. And certainly catching that Kugelwagen off, a bit of a return vengeance there against Spanky. And we got here already take up. We got a sapper section on the way there for Zoobee. You can soon actually either upgrade already here for the Vickers scale. He more might likely go for the Wasp flamethrower to try and burn away some Huns. Scorch them away. And mines here, while grabbing the fuel point there. Good work, finally getting some fuel there properly for Spanky. And he's gone for Luftwaffe ground forces, calling up machine guns to help him control the map. They hold back Zoobee. Zoobee on the other hand not going for any Vickers machine guns, so the likes will help maybe him control the map. No upgrade there for the Wasp. Oh, universal carrier there going after the Sturmpaniers, but at the same time, bit close there, bit close. Need to be careful there. Sappers moving up and continuing aggression here, cutting off the fuel. Cheeky bastard. And there we go. Again, for caught here with infantry already forced away there for Spanky. Looking a bit rough here, though both sides are certainly losing a lot of territory quickly back and forth. As Spanky, of course, forces growing here, of course, will have a bit more so chance of pushing back against Zoobee with a lot more firepower, though of course he is paying a lot more manpower for it than Zoobee, and of course there's also the initial territorial sacrifice he has to sort of make it work. To some extent, in that sense, it's good here for Spanky that Zoobee hasn't gone any vicars, otherwise he could, you know, lock down those Storm Pioneers a lot more aggressively and minimise their effect. But there you go, Wasp on the way, and that could certainly also punish Spanky's heavy Storm Pioneer play. Infantry there caught by the MG34. Close, that close. At the same time, there we go. Flamethrower almost over there, getting surrounded by Storm Pioneers. Need to be careful, they need to be careful. With the rear armour. Almost ready though, almost. Sappers ready to support there with their Sten guns. And there we go. Storm Pioneers burning horribly. As fires unleashed, and there we go. 2 full Storm Pioneers, well, half full Pioneer squads forced away. Not looking too good there. Almost veterans run down the Universal Carrier at the same time, holding up there, dealing with the MG34, which is out in the open, in fact, negative cover. Nicely handled there by Zoobee. Very rare to see someone use infantry in Sniper's Nest, but there you go, nicely handled, and forced away Spanky as well there. So Spanky struck here in the early game now. We're seeing the Zoobee quickly reacting to Spanky's sort of opening build and strategy and trying his best to sort of counter it hard. Also 3 engineers here. He's really going heavy on them. They are, of course, also cheaper than the infantry section. They also perform decently, particularly as they hit veterans, they become pretty good. And if he's also then, for example, planning ahead, they have maybe before, you know, the company command post and animal specialization, that also means he can get 3 heavy engineers. So of course that might be here what Zoobee is already planning, of course, in which case Spanky should pay attention to that sort of figure, you know. Alright, my opponent might go for some heavier armor then, because that means also Churchills, for example. Mine up there from Spanky, though he's about to hit a British one in... Nope, that's active zone, never mind. Never mind, but there we go, Universal Carrier striking in for King and Country. Battle Group headquarters going up, head troops waiting for healing. Reinforcement, some of them. The Kidmeth waiting in the wrong end of the map here for the Universal Carrier. Bit of rubbish luck there for Gefreiter Reinhardt. Obergefreiter more specifically. And quickly getting out of tank, and here Zoobee in this case, expecting apparently a sort of vehicle counter there for his Universal Carrier. Expecting probably the Puma to try and hunt it down, but Spanky is not playing that game at all. In fact, he's going for the Battle Group headquarters here, so he's got something else in mind, and that could certainly mean that initially here the anti-tank gun won't do much. Of course, they're going to do 280 manpower doing nothing for Zoobee initially, which of course could give Spanky a perhaps brief advantage. There we go, light infantry on the way, so he's getting artillery, thus means he's actually going to have more support weapons here than Zoobee. At least weapons that actually have an effect on the battlefield for the time being. Another moment off there, it seems. Oh, entire sapper section wiped out there by the Schuhmine. Small victory there for Spanky. And we got here the medical supplies out, and there we go. More explosions, more mines, more death. In this case, it was the Germans that hit this mine, losing 2 of their men. Lots of mines this battle, and there we go. He's going for a sniper. Kind of would have figured maybe, you know, another sapper team, but no, Zoobee goes for the sniper. Spanky gaining some ground, but still, Zoobee is controlling the centre, making it a bit harder for him to, for example, control some of the points and actually connect them. And overall, Zoobee is planning to play surprisingly fluid with the British, which is not really necessarily what they're good with in the early game, though I suppose the sappers to a certain extent help with it. One option here could certainly be to sort of upgrade with weapon racks and, well, get them some guns. Both the infantry squads could also be a good upgrade. And there you go, infantry rank, dealing him with the Storm Pioneers, running straight ahead. Storm Pioneers taking losses. And there you go, flanking around the Universal Carrier. Taking nasty losses, there we go, shot right through the window. Against the infantry holding up there. Didn't do too much though, but might eventually later on. There we go, Kedmefer seems to score the kill instead. Storm Pioneers force away the infantry, making a good push. No, actually sappers, never mind. And there we go, Universal Carrier trying again. He's sort of trying to play around like Kedmefer. He knows where it is at the moment, so he can also that way allow himself to play more aggressive. And there we go, in fact, he ends up forcing it to retreat right there, leaving the front line actually very vulnerable here to the Universal Carrier. That is definitely not good for Spanky, because that's the only thing he's got that can sort of seriously stop the Universal Carrier, except maybe getting some lucky shots in them with Storm Pioneers, maybe if Zoobee gets a bit reckless. Mines down there, good work. But overall, overwhelming map control here to Zoobee. slowly getting further momentum. Mines down, and there we go, UKF moving in there. MU-34 Storm Pioneers, there we go, getting us good hits. MU-34 joining in. We need to be careful there, careful. He's exposed in the rear, there we go. Re-exposed, and there goes Storm Pioneers and MU. Oh, huge explosion as the fuel just cooks up there.
Universal carriers has been destroyed.
Don't take the MU-34 lightly. It does have a bit of extra penetration there versus lighter vehicles, but not extra. It just has penetration that can sort of work versus them. And then when he exposed to rear armor, that definitely didn't help there. So in this case, Zoobee made a misclick, perhaps. Either way, though, Universal Carrier is lost. That's a small victory for Spanky, since that means there's less pressure on infantry, and there's, less need to sort of, constantly worry about something appearing out of the shadows and lighting half the unit on fire. Like a bunch of candles. But already here trying to push for the fuel, disrupted by the sappers. Still moving this Storm Pioneers about here, aggressively sort of trying to harass and overwhelm Zoobee infantry gun, opening up the infantry section. Quickly also sending them back there with a flank of the Storm Pioneers. Good work, gute Arbeit. Still, Spanky is struck here against Zoobee's control. Zoobee already taken up here by the 11-minute mark. Company command post going up there.
Supply line's been cut.
Minesweepers up here, clearly not interested in counting any more British mines. We've also got minesweepers up here from Zoobee, who's feeling likewise about Spanky's mines. Fort retreat point up there. He could try and throw in another light infantry, going to try and bombard the infantry further. We could have other plans. He's got a truck here. He could try and play for the Schwerpanzer quarters. Maybe throw in some Obersoldaten. Or of course, he could just go for Fallschirmjägers. Salvaging here, but taking fire from the sniper. Good work there for Zoobee. Sabotaging what they can there. Bit of a shootout here. Veteran T2 already for the Storm Pioneers. Well, already. There you go, forced away. And we got an early sent out here for Zoobee. Early sent out. Oh, not early, but sent out all the way. It's the first unity of choice. Fallschirmjägers arriving. And the sent out is definitely going to do things unpleasant here for Spanky. They can really kill infantry. It's only much better than the Austrian flak punch, and they more or less cost the same thing. The center costing a bit more manpower, but that's about it. Almost got the sniper there, but not quite, not quite. In from there, flanking about, dealing with the Fallschirmjäger himself. Points, artillery opening up there on the infantry section on the right. Really now playing aggressive. He's sort of going for a lot of points now, really trying to gain as back. Gain back as much territory from Zoobee as he can, while also killing as many Tommies as he can in the process. And there we go. Quick about the Laden, causing that cover. Now the Centaur has arrived there with its 20mm guns. That is going to hurt Spanky quite a bit, since he's still only got a Raketenwerfer to essentially deal with it. He's got no other measures of actually sort of countering it, no further Raketenwerfers, no Panzerschrecks. He's got Panzerfaust and bursts of mines, but still that requires a bit of, baiting in most cases, and also depends, he sort of sticks close to them and uses them.
Trying to take a point from us.
We'll of course have to see what actually happens. There we go, sniper continues to bleed away there. Storm Pioneers taking the bait, perhaps. Quickly find themselves on the receiving end there of a full Centaur burst, and there we go.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
Fences, trees shattered before the Centaurs. Rapid fire might. There you go, minesweepers leading the way here for the Centaur, ensuring it does not suffer anything too unpleasant. Good work there, by the way. Good work there by Zoobee. Mine there should be quickly cleared up. Bit of killing there in the centre, left flank there. He's almost getting both fuel points, but that won't last for long here. Not with the Centaur and the sappers going for the eastern point. We got Storm Pioneers hiding here behind the trees, hoping no one noticed them. Alright. If anyone asks, the trees, alright? Alright, Dieter, you're a bush. You're not quite tall enough to be a tree. And there we go, MD-34 in the building. Doesn't quite have the firepower to deal with the Centaur. Got a bit of damage there. The sappers suppressed. The Kenner moving up over here. The MD-34 is taking too much damage. Need to retreat. Schnell! They might... Oh, too late here. Centaur wiped out the entire MD-34 crew there. Absolutely horrific there for Spanky. The Kenner setting up, but too late. And of course, in theory, could just drive up here on this side and just fire away into the building. But oh well, looks like he does not do so. Fallschirmjäger on the surrounded. Sniper pushed away. You got a Yak Punch on the way. Oh, getting another sniper, even as the first one is killed there. But of course here, the Zoobee's going to get a bit of vengeance there thanks to the Centaur. Lots of easy targets amongst the retreating German troops. They're shredding those Fallschirmjägers, annihilating them. There we go, again, whether they might just save the day just a bit. Then again, like Kedmev under fire from the Centaur, could also find himself wiped. In this case, though, Zoobee's not going to try and find out if he can actually do so, and that might end up being the right decision there, or it might not. Only time will tell. Further troops are healing up, reinforcing. Zoobee a bit on the back foot is. Spanky's aggressive tactics are getting punished a bit now thanks to the Centaur, and again the lack of further anti-attack here is certainly also showing a bit of its weakness. But now with the Jagdpanzer, might there be hope somehow he can deal with it? I mean, there's only an anti-tank gun to really cover the Centaur, so I suppose if Spanky plays his cards correctly, the Jagdpanzer might just actually be of some use here. We of course have to see what actually happens, but again there is still the 6-pounder gun, and that could give Spanky a bit of a headache. Anti-tank is setting up. Sturmpani's rolling in, anti-tank a bit of trouble, going for the fuel point there. Fallschirmjäger striking in. No specialization there yet from Zoobee. Jagdpanzer shifting ahead there as much as it can. They're on the overloaded chassis, which was very much overloaded thanks to that gun. It was simply too big for the Panzer IV chassis, and it actually had problems over sort of tilting ahead, sticking the gun into the ground, which was actually a bad thing. Little fun fact there. Which is also a trait the SU-100 actually shared as well. There you go, Fallschirmjäger ping right here, but next to the Centaur, that is not the best. Oh god, the sniper though!
The squad's gone.
But close to losing the Fallschirmjägers. I'm not entirely sure I'd say 440 manpower was worth that if he ends up getting them wiped. I mean, it shows he's a complete loss, but, you know, it's not necessarily a good trade-off either. And certainly I don't think one Spanky can keep affording. But there you go, Jagdpanzer not moving in there. He could have, you know, just move up here, shoot a bit. Of course, there's the anti-tank gun to worry about, but now. Otherwise, Zoobee quickly adding in a Cromwell tank here.
Threatening a capture point.
Probably try and have something to sort of flank the Jagdpanzer with and deal with it, since the Cromwell is rather swift.
There's a rather splendid Cromwell ready to go.
There we go, a rather splendid Cromwell to go. Fallschirmjäger holding up there. Hoping for no Tommies to appear and cause problems. Centaur though, intent on bringing that out. But there we go. Jagdpanzer gets over hit there with its high velocity 75mm gun. Down to half health. Cromwell's reporting nearby. Cromwell quickly flanking the Jagdpanzer.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our
Kedmev is opening up. Almost got the Cromwell, almost. Almost, but they're going to tank and setting up. Good hit there, penetrating the Jagdpanzer's armor. He couldn't quite get the speed there, and good handling there by Spanky, showing his opponent couldn't easily flank. But they go down to half health here due to fire from the 6-pounder gun there. Quick fire. That is what QF stands for those curious. Bit of shooting here. Getting back territory there. Good work. Could also strike a bit towards the west. More sappers on the way. Easily finding, planning maybe, you know, a specialization and some kind of choice.
The new engineer section is waiting for
Light infantry gun there. Bit of trouble. Centaur very close to Victory 2. That's going to be a problem here. Much faster. If it hits Victory 3, that's going to be a nightmare for Spanky. And the 2nd Panzer Division. But there we go. Infantry getting up there, but quickly cut down by Fallschirmjägers. Well, if you turn, there you go. Centaur strikes for King and Country. And there we go. Victory 2. That's just bad news there, since it allows the church to, I believe, follow the targets better. And there you go. Wiped out. I mean, Spanky's suffering huge manpower losses. He's down to basically some of his original Sturmpioneer squads And that's it. He's got a Kedner thing gun and a Yak Punch. I mean, right now, he's in a lot of trouble here versus Zoobee's, well, overall larger force. I mean, he's not perhaps quite as, elite, heavily equipped, but they've got numbers and they've got more tanks as well. Whereas Spanky's got a Yak Panzer, which isn't quite the same thing. And there we go, we got the Anvil, and there we go, we got the heavy engineer upgrades going up there. Vickers case being handed out. Oh, the Yak Panther flank. Thankfully, there's no anti-tank and all Cromwell ready nearby. Take advantage of that, otherwise that could have been GG right there for Spanky on that point right away. Betty Twin for gunfire. Nope, Betty one actually. And we got Cromwell dealing with some Storm Pioneers on the left flank, forcing Spanky to have to retreat from there. We got the Mechanized Regiment. No spare Panzer at quarters there, and no resource trade either. He's got plenty of munitions. But then he does have a tendency of just using a lot of airborne assault, turning the munitions into troops that way, calling in more Fallschirmjäger. He's really a huge fan of them. That's Spanky. Loves his Fallschirmjäger. Almost got the Cromwell there. And another 6-pounder gun here to help counter the Yak Panzer and any other armour that might arrive, I imagine, here from Spanky and the 2nd Panzer Division. Partnering with sappers. Even if the veterans run, they don't have any cover to sort of utilise, and they're going to basically get killed there by the Fallschirmjägers unless they retreat. Oh, but then they hit a mine. Oh dear. Poor Spanky, his Fallschirmjägers, just having the worst luck ever. Hopefully it's not a too elite Fallschirmjäger division that's providing units here for Spanky, otherwise that's going to hurt the Luftwaffe. Perhaps it's just one of the air such units. There were a lot of, well, Fallschirmjäger divisions created, basically, as the war progressed to the late war, and while they were technically designated as Fallschirmjägers, it would probably sort of close to approximate them with Volksgrenadiers that were just called Fallschirmjäger. They weren't too well equipped either, or perhaps better equipped than regular Volksgrenadiers, but still, overall training-wise, about as well, which basically meant they might have at most have a month and basically had to rely on some veterans sort of leading them around. There you go, Senton getting here with the Yak Panzer veterans you won. Nothing to cover. Oh, we got a 6-pounder gun they're moving up there. And Yak Panzer does not pursue. But a quick attempted airborne assault to basically again overcome some of the manpower losses here, which again is probably why he's not trading for fuel here. He just needs the munitions to keep, the infantry flow going on there, in particular versus the British with the Centaurs, and now of course the Vickers case being added in here, making things more difficult. The Sturm Pioneers right here, might just be the Sturm Pioneers have the upper hand. The Vickers case nothing towards Sturmgewehr. More Fallschirmjägers. I mean, he's really obsessed with them. I mean, it's interesting enough, he's not getting any more Sturm Pioneers after the initial 3. It's always just more Fallschirmjägers. More Fallschirmjägers. But at the same time, it doesn't quite feel like spam otherwise. But,
Squad knocked out.
we think, he could try and mix up with some additional Sturm Pioneers, or maybe try for some Orbals another way, though. Yak Panzer gained victory too, but almost got knocked out by the 6-pounder gun in the process. So that was really close there for Spanky. I mean, one wrong move had Zoobee make the right move. That would have been a wreck, in which case he'd have absolutely no defense then against the armor of the Zoobee. So, that's a bit of a problem there for Spanky, and something he needs to be a bit aware of. Either way, though, it is 52, so it's going to be a bit tougher now to deal with. Got repairs on the way, both Sturm Pioneer squads, plus Mechanized Regiment, another Sentinel for Zoobee. This time here for the mid-game analysis. I mean, we're sort of looking damage-wise. Spanky's got a light lead, but kill-wise, he's holding behind here. And that's a bit of a problem, in particular considering he's not been using Volksgrenadiers. He's been using a lot more expensive units, Sturm Pioneers, Fallschirmjägers. I mean, right there, while Spanky's essentially, what we're seeing here is he's doing more armor damage. He's dealing with the armor better than, to some extent, Zoobee, but infantry-wise, he's hurting a lot. Again, those are Sturm Pioneer and Fallschirmjäger kills. This isn't Ostrom or Volksgrenadiers, so that is a notable difference, and that's a bit problematic for Spanky. And he needs to be a bit more careful, of course. That means sort of quickly countering the Centaurs, but he needs more anti-tank. He can't just rely on a Kedmev and a Centaur. Not as the game is progressing, at least not the way it is also currently progressing, because he's leaving himself in a rather precarious situation. He was sort of also looking at army value. I mean, it's a bit back and forth again, you know, thanks to the Steel Empires 5 to 6. I mean, he's holding up alright, but we can also see clearly here, you know, that's where things are sort of beginning to get a bit unpleasant for Spanky. So while he's not completely out there, I mean, he can't keep up this rate of attrition. It's going to hurt him, and it's going to sort of leave, you know, his opponent with an advantage. And also, noting here now, he's sort of having a resource advantage. Of course, he needs to sort of expend it properly. So those are some things to sort of keep in mind. Or really, they're just sort of looking at the raw stats. I mean, he's still holding on to some territory, he's doing some damage, but, you know, he needs to be careful, otherwise things are quickly going to turn against him. And he can't just, you know, keep spamming Fallschirmjägers. He can't just keep out there. I mean, he needs something else. He needs more anti-tank. He at least needs another Kedmev, I think. I also think he needs to either consider getting up some Pumas, just provide some support there toward the Jagdpanzer to deal with some flankers, keep the Cromwells and such a bit more honest. A pair of Pumas would do that. Otherwise, he needs to tech up, go for the Schwerpanzer at quarters, and aim for a Panzer IV as humanly possible. A Panzer IV support by the Jagdpanzer, I think, would be a decent combination, but then sort of works his Sturmpanies and Fallschirmjäger towards a larger push. That could actually have a good effect there for Spanky. Otherwise, his situation is, well, I mean, it could work out, but, I mean, there's every chance he have a few good hits again, another Centaur, and he's going to be leading out a lot more manpower, in which case he's going to be in trouble. I mean, the Sturmpaniers are definitely sort of doing a lot of good work for him to an extent, the Fallschirmjägers are, but also, I mean, the way here that Zoobee's handling the engagement is actually working out pretty well for him. So it's not, you know, all that straightforward. One thing though, Zoobee should consider is expending some of all that bloody munitions. I mean, he's got no doctrines. I mean, he could choose this one for strafing support, vehicle crew repairs, this one for, well, lots of artillery and flares, or you could go for this one, I suppose. And yeah, this one really wouldn't work with it. I mean, again, we consider it's either Royal Artillery or Vanguard operations really work the best here for Zoobee. So you definitely need to choose a doctrine soon, but also, you know, getting the weapon racks, getting out some Bren guns for his infantry section would do him good. He would even further upgrade the sappers with Bren guns. I mean, really, that would just, you know, further push advantage against Spanky's infantry. So that would be a good choice there for Zoobee. Otherwise, a ton of mines. But overall, he shouldn't be floating 500 munitions. End of story. Well, there's another Centaur. You can sort of consider maybe in the future getting a Churchill, maybe backing out with a Firefly. I mean, that would definitely deal with the Jagdpanzer, I think, quite solidly. And again, he's got the more resources. A few cash to sort of bag up Zoobee would be good, but, you know, pushing on the flanks, hitting him there, forcing Spank to spread out, thus leaving his, again, more elite force, well, less able to sort of quite fully bring its strength to bear if he's then sort of get hit out of nowhere with another Centaur. Because, again, he doesn't quite have any sufficient anti-tank to cover up all of these units, meaning if anyone gets caught off guard, there isn't a Jagdpanzer immediately there, that unit could very well end up being doomed right on the spot. So, I mean, there's definitely problems here for Spanky. It's not, of course, quite straight sailing here for Zoobee. I mean, it is still elite infantry he's dealing with, and he somehow managed to create a Jagdpanzer IV Veteran T2, which is, you know, a bit problematic and could be a bit of a headache here for Zoobee if he's not careful. But again, that also depends on how Spanky uses his Jagdpanzer. And so far, he's been using it rather passively. He needs to, you know, actually go on the hunt here to a certain extent, try to force Zoobee to be more cautious with his armor as well, try to make some pushes, a bit more of a focused assault, rather than sort of the spread out we sort of mucking about we got here at the moment. But let's return to the fight and see what actually happens, shall we?
Infantry squad trained and ready to go.
Courtesy of the Royal Engineers.
Poor Feldwebel Steiner, dead on the ground. Meanwhile, got movement here. Pioneer supporting the Jagdpanzer by the looks of it. Ready to push back against the Tommies.
Engine ticking over. We're here, we're ready.
Going for the points again, he's hitting the flanks pretty hard. And again, that's forcing Spanky to react. And again, it's mostly just a few units in there because, again, he can't really afford larger. He sort of also wants to push elsewhere. So it creates some dilemmas there for Spanky. And of course, he's going to get worse here thanks to the Centaur, but of course also the Cromwell with his high speed. In this case, so far, Fallschirmjägers on the right flank. Sturmpaniers, and he's sending in the Veteran 3 Sturmpaniers. That's probably the better option. And there you go. Zoobee is quick to pull back his troops. Doesn't want to play around with that. And there he goes, Sappers in front of the Jagdpanzer. Nothing to worry about. In fact, we've got the anti-tank supporting us, so the Jagdpanzer has to be worried and actually quickly forced back. Kenmer for nicer position there, forcing the Cromwell to be more careful. Jagdpanzer close to half health already. Bad news for that one. And veterans 1 for the anti-tank gun. Schwerpanzer quarters up for Spanky. Veteran 2 for the Kenmer should help up a bit there, should help up a bit. There we go, Centaur moving in to deal with the Sturm Pioneers on their left flank. They're not going to have a happy day. And again, back to repairing the Jagdpanzer. Sapper team there dealt a harsh blow before being forced back there.
Ready to shoot. We're ready for orders. Where do you want us?
There we go, Sergeant Wells spots an easy target there from his Centaur, and immediately opens up the Sturm Pioneers there. Quickly running them off. We're seeing a further struggle here for Spanky actually sort of maintaining any control of the fuel points and also dealing with the armor, because when he just sort of hits, then moves away, moves away. It's basically sort of hit and run tactics.
There's an officer awaiting orders.
And that's a bit more difficult for the Jagdpanzer to actually deal with. And here we go, we finally got a choice. It is Vanguard. We got a full logistics glider going down, and looks like the officer's already complaining while in the air due to the unsportsmanly behaviour of the Germans of actually shooting at them while they're in the air.
We're losing a capture point.
Also a fun fact about British glider pilots, they're actually expected to take part in the fighting, unlike American glider pilots who are basically sort of able to do whatever the bloody hell they want after they landed the plane. I mean, from their perspective, the war was pretty much over. They could just do whatever they wanted. Apparently some went on some rather impressive drunken benders through Europe. Go figure. There you go. Right here though, the officers having a bit of trouble there with the Fallschirmjägers. The FT-42's clearly outdoing the Sten gun in this case. Sturm Pioneers getting veterans before, good clearing out anti-tank gun. There we go, got a second Centaur. Good job there for Spanky. Halfway to veteran 3. You got Vickers there holding up behind the wreckage of a previous Centaur. Anti-tank moving up, camera will need to go in before the Jagdpanzer knocks it out. Still not a lot here, not right flank. Fallschirmjäger struggling a bit. And there we go, recruiting the anti-tank gun right under Spanky's nose. Need to get that Sapper team out of there before the Sturm Pioneers wipe them out, and they will wipe them out. I'd be surprised if they didn't try to wipe them out. It looks like he was a bit too late instead, focusing on the anti-tank gun. Cromwell ruling. Infantry going to go for a hit there. Jagdpanzer moving in, but still can't do that too easily. Too many 6-pounder guns ready to try and knock it out and turn it into a scrap heap. Which I'm pretty sure what is Spanky's opposite goal with his Jagdpanzer. Nothing from the Schwerpanzer quarters, no orbital Darben, which could otherwise be of help, you know, with the light machine guns. Could allow him to sort of fight the British at a bit of a longer range, in particular the officer. And Zoobee here is getting close to a crocodile. That would definitely spell quite some problems here for Spanky. And again, Zoobee could be one of those players who just basically decide it's too good, it's no fun, I'll just go for other units. I mean, that could be. We have some players who do that.
We're losing a capture point.
Spanky, though, is getting closer back to be able to call in the Panzer IV. We could try and aim for a Panther, but I know with the Jagdpanzer, I think the Panzer IV could be sort of more decent option, better dealing with the infantry, while the Jagdpanzer then sort of, you know, shoots out at the arm. I mean, that could work, theoretically. Still, he's got Zoobee here a bit on the back foot for the time being, but victory points wise, though, he is struggling here compared to Zoobee. There goes Jumpers moving in. Victory 2. Lots of Sabers. So we got the Crom, we got the Info 6 moving up. They need to get into cover though. Enter Deckung. Well, not them, but yeah. Halfway to Veteran 50 there. That will increase rate of fire and further accuracy. No, that's Veteran 2. Anyway, second hit there from the 6-pounder gun. Bit problematic. Fuel point there being lost to the British officer. Good hits there from the 6-pounder gun. Also got a return hit there on the Cromwell from the Jagdpanzer. Fighting in the centre intensifies to a small extent, but not too much either. Oh dear, Fallschirmjäger pushed away. This is still not looking too fresh there for Spanky. He's got plenty of manpower, no sign of the orbital Darden, which I really think will benefit him much.
Trying to take one of our points.
Come on, Spanky, get a pair of them. Really think that would help him out quite a bit here. And right now he can also just consider getting a Panzer IV here. Again, would also help versus the infantry, would help him out to maybe flank the Cromwell. Something a bit more aggressive, something to flank with, then maybe drawing targets away from the front, allowing the Jagdpanzer then to attack from another angle. I mean, that would be actually a very good tactic there. Say, for example, have the Panzer IV moving here, forcing the anti-tank gun to turn their sights towards the road, leaving this side open to allow the Jagdpanzer maybe to deal with the Cromwell there. Halfway to Victory 5 there for the Sturm Pioneers. When they get there, that would definitely be a huge boon for Spanky. Infantry gun dealing with the anti-tank guns, shooting. And there you go, he's getting a regular Churchill. I'm a bit surprised here, but again, some players really do seem to think, you know, the Churchill is basically too good, so they won't bother with it until it's been nerfed. Fun fact there. And I'm guessing Zoobee is one of them. Well, I mean, he's pretty much got the resources. 40 goodies have called it in, but instead he's actually willing to go for the regular Churchill. Very close to 83 there, very close. We've got the 6-pounder guns moving up, we've got Sappers there moving about. The Sturm Pioneers doing the cannon with the other Sapper section, but looking a bit closer, looking a bit close. Looking very close indeed. Looks like they manage, for the most part. And then they need to retreat. Close to victory 5, but also close to death. Churchill almost ready. Oh! Good lord! It's just poor Dieter left. On the other hand, we got the officers there also making a rather close escape there against 2 Fallschirmjäger squads. Clearly not in the mood for any funny business. There you go, Churchill arrives, Mark 7. And another airborne assault is trying to change the British position, so he's getting a 3rd unit there. And I think he might be setting up for the King Tiger, but if he's doing that, he definitely needs to conduct the field transfer. I mean, really, just shouldn't be sitting about there waiting for the King Tiger like that, in particular not versus the Brits. He just used the time to bring out more bigger armour. I'll say Fireflies. There you go, Churchill out, anti-tank is there, one cleared out. He's finally also called in some air support there, the strafing support. Good job. I mean, he's been flooding so much munitions. It's been absolutely absurd there from Zoobee. Absolutely absurd. Aircraft went down. And aircraft guns doing their best to silence it. Of course, it's also got raid operation, which allows not just his infantry to capture territory quicker, but also his tanks to do it at the same speed, more or less. Overall, I mean, he can really be aggressive with that if he wants to, but so far there doesn't quite seem to be that intent from Zoobee. Jagdpanzer there moving up. Ah, shot bounced off the Churchill's thick frontal armour. Mr. Cromwell. Good shooting, Helmut. You're doing so fast as Antal. Another miss, good lord. Still maintaining good map control versus Zoobee, but at a high cost. His force is quickly bleeding out there. He's lost the Fallschirmjägers. He's lost his elite Sturm Pioneers. Ach, nein. The situation is looking pretty down. He's also filling so much manpower. You don't need 1,000 for the King Tiger, and really he should then, if he's really investing in it. Fuel transfer. I mean, really, there's no excuse for not fuel transferring when you're going for the King Tiger. In particular, versus the Brits, who could just sort of build up the resources much quicker. I mean, he's got the map to a certain extent there, nicely enclosed, but it can't last forever, not with the losses he's suffering.
300 points remaining.
And good lord, Spanky's actually so desperate, he's deviating from his strategy, but actually getting Volksgrenadiers. So there's clearly a sense of desperation there from Spanky against Zoobee, when he's actually going for Volksgrenadiers, when he maybe could have prepared to step with Obersoldaten, a fuel transfer and a few light machine guns. Instead of aiming for the King Tiger faster, or just getting several Panzer IVs. Fallschirmjäger striking in, but there you go, getting flanked here by the Cromwell. Engineers moving in. Other engineer pushed back. The right side here very open, so is the west though, but looks like Spanky might be having some success in forcing Zoobee into sort of playing according to his tune. There we go. Churchill there taking hits from the Jagdpanzer and its high velocity gun. Getting very little experience from it though, despite penetrating hits there. And that's despite hitting Veteran 3. And the thing is, you know, once they hit sort of Veteran 3, Veteran 4, Veteran 5, then you tend to come a lot faster afterwards. But Cromwell there moving in, close to Victory 2. Good hit there.
We're losing a capture point.
Engagement here, no cover though, so grenade. Granate. Fast makes jump on his over in the left flank. We got another MG34 here, so increasing sense of desperation. I think from Spanky, he's just throwing everything in he can to stall up Zoobee, buy himself more time. And it seems to be working. Zoobee is very much to the back foot at the moment. No, he could also, in theory, get himself a Churchill more right now if he wanted to. Of course, he might be going, to hell with this, I'm getting a crocodile now. But no, he's getting another regular Churchill here. That is surprising. He's still floating out of munitions. Still not attempting to upgrading some of his interjects with Bren guns, which again would help versus Spanky's infantry. And there you go, Jagdpanzer moving ahead here. Closing in a bit, 4, closing in very quickly, which would further increase its rate of fire and its accuracy. Almost got it there. Down to half health. Anti-tankers are supporting, forcing the Jagdpanzer back again. Rather rough here for him. Bit of funding for the Eastern victory points. 200 versus 189. Actually, looking at Spanky's might be getting the victory point advantage soon. But at the same time, Zoobee soon going to have the armor advantage. Then again, Spanky can himself, well, he can actually get the King Tiger if he just gets a bit more manpower. Just loses a unit. He actually needs to do something before he can get the King Tiger. He might have expended a bit too fast. His desperation might have been a bit too quick, and in fact has delayed the King Tiger, which would be to the advantage of Zoobee. Because again, he's now got 2 Churchill on the field and a Cromwell, plus 2 6-pounder guns to support it all. That's going to be something that Jagdpanzer is going to have a very difficult time dealing with. There you go, another Veteran 3 still on Pioneer squad. Rather late in there, you go quickly dispatched with all haste.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
There we go. Full armoured assault here from Zoobee. 2 Churchills and a Cromwell supported here by 2 6-pounder guns. And there's only basically a Kedden and a Jagdpanzer stop. And we're getting a King Tiger now. Königstiger is on the way, but will it arrive in time? Will it be enough? There we go. Second shot missed. Cromwell moving up there. Engagement over here. Stopped by the Schwerflak. Oh, not Schwerflak, but Schwerpanzer quarters. Church is moving ahead here. Taking hits from the Jagdpanzer Veggie for increased accuracy, increased rate of fire. But quick using terrain there to slow avoid fire. MG in trouble there. Armour continues to assault. Troops falling back towards the mechanized regiment, perhaps to support the Jagdpanzer versus the armour. But it's looking rather tricky, and the light infantry gun could be wiped out here in a matter of moments. No grenade fire. And there we go. We got air support called in here by Zoobee to support his armoured assault. Infantry though not quite. Then we got the anti-tank supporting. No. Rockets flying through the air. Fudge Mega still pushed away. Cromwell there taking footage from the Jagdpanzer, which is 54. Should try and deal with the armour, try and do as much damage here, but at the same time it has to deal with the anti-tank guns, which means other units have to deal with it first. Need to force and use incendiary rounds. King Tiger almost there. Panzerfaust on the Churchill. Almost got the mechanized regiment. Jagdpanzer's pulled back completely. It is no longer supporting the front line, giving the Churchills and so on fully free reign. There we go. MG cleared out here. Fudge making up for the centre. Heavy engineers in trouble getting cut down by the Fudgemjägers. Aircraft being shot down here.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
And there we go. King Tiger is ready. Königstiger bereit. Can it turn the tide for Germany? Or will it simply be too late at this point? Promotion time, chaps. There, slaughtering the Fudgemjägers at close range. There we go. King Tiger supporting by the Jagdpanzer, dealing with the Churchills, doing quite a bit of damage there. Could knock one out, could knock one out. as long as the Yak Panzer keeps up pace here. Almost got it. 6-pounder guns firing. You need to clear them out first. Need to clear them out. Focus them down here, Spanky. They're low on health, low on numbers. No, he pulls back. He pulls back. He does not go in there. He's too worried about the church, but that allows the 6-pounder guns free reign. In particular, deal with the Yak Panzer, which he moved up too far ahead. Oh dear. A disaster here for Spanky. Misclick perhaps. Either way though. Yak Panzer got knocked out very swiftly. That was that one. Easily dealt with by the anti-tank guns, which could have been cleared up by the King type, which could completely change that engagement, really. But one mistake here, and all of a sudden, Zoobee's the one with the advantage. He's still got the anti-tank guns. He's still got 2 Churchills and a Cromwell, and one of those Churchills is veterancy too. This is bad news for Spanky. He's got the King Tiger, some Fallschirmjägers, a single focus squad, and some Sturm Pioneers. There's a lot more infantry, and more worryingly, a lot more armour, which can deal with the infantry. It's enough, he's not trying to pop a grenade here against the British troops, but then again, doesn't perhaps need to. Turn up with all the added machine guns that eventually one and above Churchill gets.
We've lost an anti-tank gun.
Lost an anti-tank gun. Volksgun is in trouble. The officer and his commando friends simply too much for them. Quick grenade. Half the unit gone. And Volksgun is pushed away.
Dash it all.
Units being lost. Dash it all. King Tiger ready again.
Do some damage.
This is going to even trickier now. With all those anti-tank guns, Churchills and a Cromwell, and there's only one King Tiger. Shots fired, some penetrate, some bounce. There you go, already down to half health. Already down to half health. Cromwell almost 53. King Tiger forced away quite easily, actually. Now the rest of the units are getting slaughtered by the amount of armour and machine guns basically the 3 tanks can produce. Sturm Pioneers don't really have much of a chance. There you go, annihilated. He's down to 5 makers and Volksgun is getting another academy effort. He's not really going to help it this much, I fear. 20 kills there, almost let's do 3 already.
Air support is coming as requested.
This is just dreadful.
Heavy armor ready to go. Churchill tank ready for orders. Ready for instructions. Sappers completed as ordered. Get sorted out.
Sitting a mechanized regiment, it seems, still flooding a lot of ammunition, still no upgrades, still no weapons, still nothing from Zoobee. Rather disappointed there, but beyond that, he seems to be handling things well. He's still a bit in trouble there in victory points wise, but he's managed to turn against Spanky again. He's got the overall advantage though, force wise. 91 versus 62 here. He's got a lot more armor. He's still got the anti-tank guns, infantry wise. Things are not looking too bad either, not with the tanks to support his infantry. That's definitely going to be a problem there for Spanky as well. Apparently that glider part there went for a trip across the map.
They're down to 100 points.
Got an infantry holding watch. They'd had some Bren guns, he might be able to hold better, or maybe some grenades. I mean, interesting. I mean, he's really got so many resources. He could have gotten so many upgrades for his men, but there's nothing. He hasn't even bolstered the infantry sections, which is rather interesting to note. A bit surprised at that one, really. Good there from the Cromwell, almost veterancy free. And wiped.
Enemy got one of our squads.
Not sure here what Spanky is planning anymore, besides using the mechanised regiment to repair his King Tiger, which is probably a bit faster in some senses. Now he's trading for fuel. Now he's trading for fuel.
Shiny new officer and gentleman ready to go.
He's actually called in another logistics glider here. Interesting. There we go, veterancy free. Bit of problems here for Spanky. Same glider lands down. That looks rather nice there, how the cockpit windows just absolutely shattered. There you go, Fallschirmjägers in for a world of hurt there against 2 Churchills and absolutely no anti-tank support.
Just like scales going down.
No survivors.
Orders, man.
And he's getting a Puma out of all things, a Puma at this point. I'm not entirely sure if Spanky has actually any faith in that. And he's just trying it because, you know, who knows, it might just through sheer insanity actually work out. Yeah, Spanky's forces are in a pretty, well, bad state. And his King Tiger ended up not really having much of an impact, simply due to the sheer amount of anti-tank guns and heavy armour itself had to face, which basically meant it couldn't really get any sort of impact going. Not after that mistake.
We're ready for orders. Back at full strength.
Infantry tank, ready to go.
So what now? There we go, getting a move on.
Point taken as ordered.
Not. I'll speed this up just a bit.
50 points left.
There we go. Immediately encountering severe resistance. We got air support called in. Puma immediately hits a mine. Gun quickly knocked out, then knocked out itself. And there we go. Spanky quits the game, and game over here. A loss for the Oberkommando, a victory for the Commonwealth. Rather close at several points, but ultimately I think the problem for Spanky was basically, you know, when he decided just to wait for the King Tiger. I think he should have gone for Panzer Force and tried to play more aggressive, trying to deal with the infantry, the other bits, try to flank about, you know, maybe use the Panzer Force to draw attention, and then have Yak Panzer doing some damage, but it never quite hit there. Also, I think too many fighting makers. I think all was done would have been nice, and if he really was going to play for the King Tiger, he should have traded resources for it towards it. I think that would also give him a better chance. But otherwise, you know, there's also that one mistake here which really hurt him a lot there. Zoobee, way too much munitions float. He could have done a lot more with it. Soon he might have won the game. Soon had he just upgraded a lot of his men with Bren guns early on. He could have really had a firepower advantage there versus Spanky's troops. He could have done a lot more might. He could have done a lot of things. I mean, that was really not good there from Zoobee. And that's definitely something he needs to improve upon. He could also even use some raid operations for increased harassment and the likes against Spanky. But otherwise, you know, nicely played there. Nicely played. Good use of anti-tank guns, armour and infantry and so on. Well handled there in the early game against the Germans there. Despite the aggressive play there, he managed to overcome it and sort of, you know, gain back some territory there. So that's quite nicely done there by Zoobee. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gives you ideas for matches. If it did, want to subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. If this is Imperial Ding, cheers, thank you for watching, and hope to see you all another time. Bye.